to honor the space which is offered to me, the sacred space which is offered, not emptiness from which I can be scared, because we are used to be identified with an object, a person, related to other person and object and the world. And our attention is mostly focused on objects. But we lost the capacity to look at the space in between objects, the space in between thoughts. This space which is closer to our real nature than an identified object as a person. Because when we understand that that's what makes us suffering, to be separated from other objects, from the world, depending on the behaviors of others and the world, and our own changing mind. So we slowly, steadily shift our attention to the space which is holding everything. And this space of being, instead of being scaring, become our friend, and we learn to honor this space as a sacred space. Sometimes we feel alone in some moment of life, or we feel others are not available for us. So we can complain and be angry about that, or we can shift our attention to this space. And instead of seeing this as a bad emptiness, a sacred space which is offered to me. So to value that, and even we can pose some action in this busy world, to like closing my phone or other devices or other things, to honor this sacred space in order to come back to myself, to that silent place, space which I am, which is my true self. So I don't close my phone or some other things like that to close to others, to close to the world, but as an honor, an honoring of that sacred space. So it is shifting the negative tendency to judge emptiness as something very scary, to alchemize it in a positive experience, to open to the sacredness of space. And then my attention slowly but steadily is shifting more and more towards the space in between thoughts, people, objects, and I realize what I've never realized before, that space is a container of everything. And space from which I am afraid is my best friend. It is my own self. So I learn to honor more and more this sacred space, and shifting from the old concept of fear of the void, fear of death. Because in that space, there is no beginning, no end, there is no time, so there is no birth and death. So I learn to shift my attention towards attention itself, this space. So I honor it, and I even call for it, because that's where I can come back to myself and learn to be detached from outer objects, people, and this first character with which I am identified as a body-mind. So I learn to bring attention to attention, which is a space holding for all this to happen. And this space is untouched. This space is the silence, which is untouched. It is the light which is shining on the object, but the light is unaffected. So I honor that space, coming back again and again to it. And I stand in the world as this light, rather than a poor character who is depending on the behaviors of others, of the world, and of his inner changeful mind patterns, behaviors, and so on. So the invitation for today is simple: to honor the space as a sacred being and learn to be friend with that, my own self, and stop fearing. Thank you very much for listening. I will meet you very soon. Wish you a beautiful day or beautiful night. Namaste.